But something we've seen as of recently, these last two dual meets for the Michigan Wolverines, they have gone undefeated in the last 4 weight classes. 174, 184, 197, and heavyweight have shut it out in the last 2 dual meets. These wrestlers are tough. Between Devontae Mahomes, Dominic Abonator, Max Huntley, and Adam Kuhn, you have a run for your money. You really do.
And this was my match that I was most excited to see because Ottinger is defensively so sound, so tough to score on, and Mahomes is so offensive. And so now Ottinger in on a single leg of his own, has his head on the inside. Mahomes close to the out of bounds line, gets out of bounds. Ottinger heads back to the center, fixes his headgear.
It's something I've noticed out of Devontae Mahomes as he leads into these dual meets, and I see it increasingly every time he goes out to wrestle, is that confidence as he goes for that double leg takedown, blasts through, gets the 2 points. Beautiful execution.
And I'll tell you what, that's very impressive that Mahomes is able to come out here and get a takedown.
Devontae Mahomes complaining about something, not sure what it was, after Ottinger was able to get the 1-point escape.
Looks like digging in his mouth.
Digging in his mouth. He did something with his mouth. I wasn't sure what he was referencing, but I think that might be it. Maybe a fish hook of sorts.
That's what he was doing, the fish hook signal. So looks like Ottinger hitting a fish hook on Mahomes. Mahomes not happy with that. So referee calls it back to the center of the mat. But as I was saying, so impressive that Mahomes is able to come out here and get a takedown. We saw in back-to-back weeks, Ottinger knocking off top 10 ranked Cody Walters of Ohio. Cody Walters, previous All-American, unable to get a takedown. And then Blaze Butler from Mizzou comes into McGurk Arena on the campus of Central Michigan, also ranked top 10 in the country, unable to get a takedown on Ottinger. So Ottinger knocks down 2 top 10 opponents back-to-back weeks, doesn't give up a takedown, and then he comes here and Mahomes is able to get a takedown in the first period, so that's impressive.
And Mahomes has been climbing up these rankings in the last 2 dual meets, getting some big wins. This is good for his confidence. We mentioned it at the beginning of the season. He started off great as a true freshman, had to redshirt early on in the season because of an injury, tore his ACL. As I say that, back in on a shot, no takedown. Almost repeats the first takedown he got early in on the period. And that's that defense you were talking about.
But continuing to stay offensive is Devontae Mahomes. Looks like a Band-Aid on the mat.
Devontae Mahomes really upset about this, about whatever's happening with his mouth. Keeps going to it, keeps gesturing that he's slightly uncomfortable. And there he goes, talking to the head official, Kenny Ritchie, trying to explain what's going on. That
wasn't a Band-Aid, that was spit from the mouth of Mahomes. So Kenny Ritchie warning Devontae Mahomes, if you spit on the mat, that is 1 team point, I believe, when Michigan State was wrestling Ian Hinton, spit on the mat and got a team point taken away.
And that's not something you do. A little push at the end of the end of the first period. Again, a lot of tensions here.
Mahomes chooses to begin the second period in the down position.
And Mike Ottinger, a senior, 20-4 on the season. The number 9 ranked wrestler in the country, a tough wrestler. A tough physique to wrestle as well. Short, stocky, difficult to reach his legs. Dominant upper body strength as well. Caution called against him. Oh, caution called on Devontae Mahomes, rather.
So that's number 2 on Mahomes. Next one will be a point awarded to Ottinger.
Mahomes back up to his feet. Ottinger cuts him loose. Mahomes leads the match 3-1 in this second period. Riding time not a factor.
So Kenny Ritchie pulling these guys together, trying to take control of this match. Mahomes faking.
And that's what you have to do against a defensive wrestler like that. Get him guessing. Keep him guessing.
So both guys collar ties. Ottinger right side collar tie. Mahomes now gets the stall call on Ottinger, and Central Michigan isn't happy, but Ottinger hasn't taken a shot this entire match. So what do they expect? That is the first full attempt on a shot that we've seen from Mike Ottinger, and we're already a minute into the second period. So for 4 minutes, he hasn't done much offensively. And Mahomes back in on a shot of his own. And Ottinger, that defense that I spoke about, now Ottinger looking for an inside trip of his own with that left leg.
Mahomes circles back inbounds. Ottinger starting to get a little more offense off as we come to the end of this second period. Only 25 seconds left on the clock. Let's see if he can get a takedown to seal off the period. That would be huge.
And I wouldn't be surprised if Mahomes gets hit for stalling here, as now Ottinger continuing to push the pace. So 1 or 2 more shots from Mike Ottinger. And Kenny Ritchie is going to hit Mahomes. It's inevitable. So a little shove. Luke Smith.
Mahomes 8-6 on the season. The redshirt freshman, as we've mentioned, starting to pick up some wins later on in the season. Ottinger gets the 1-point escape. Riding time not a factor here in this match. Only 9 seconds in favor of the Michigan wrestler, Mahomes. The match is 3-2. He leads it. And as you mentioned, he might be dinged for stalling here. He's not doing much anymore. No offense seen from Mahomes, avoiding all contact.
But he's doing a good job here, pushing the pace. So Mahomes had a single leg, and Ottinger's in better position to score here. This is trouble for Mahomes. Ottinger needs to Mahomes needs to belly down.
And
so Ottinger just needs to stay here. You don't need to do anything else if you're Mike Ottinger. You have 6 points going on the board right now. You know exactly what you have. So Ottinger has been hit for stalling, so Mahomes going to continue to push the pace, and this is where the referees just throw up the fist.
Mahomes clearly frustrated, looks to the bench, looks to the clock, looks to the official, looks at everything but his opponent. Frustrated with the outcome of this match before the match even ends. 5 seconds left on the clock. Looks like Mike Ottinger's gonna pick up the win here. Mahomes takes his headgear off before the end of the match.